Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
What are the big wins for the DOT and what are the biggest challenges so far in the last 2 years, Secretary?
Well, the big wins would be maybe the numbers speak for itself. That numbers have been increasing. We've exceeded all targets. Would you believe that the target for 2022 for domestic tourism was 86 million?
Mm-hmm.
2018, we've already reached 111 million for domestic.
Wow.
So I think it's more the numbers speak for itself.
Okay.
But it's continuing, and of course, this pandemic is just a challenge for us because we were on a momentum, we were on a high. Everybody wanted to come to the Philippines, and for the first time, I can see. I have to admit, when I was younger, I would rather go abroad than go around the country. But now I love it that millennials or younger people are dying to go around the country. And you can see with social media has been such a big help because it's free media. You can see people just post where they've been, and when they post, people want to go to these places. And I've never been so proud to be a Filipino right now because people now are really promoting go local, travel local, buy local. And remember, well, at least when I was younger, we'd rather buy imported when we were younger. But now everybody wants to wear local. Even
like you, Secretary. You're always wearing local.
Yes, this is from Mindanao. And it's fantastic. It's a good time to be a Filipino. To rate myself, it's more with the numbers.
Okay.
But now the challenge is it's COVID-19.
Is it the biggest so far that you've faced, whether in agriculture or tourism, this pandemic?
Yeah, not only for me, but for the whole world,
right.
And all the tourism ministers all over the world. About a month and a half ago, we had a summit with all the ASEAN tourism ministers, and we're all comparing notes. It's like we're all now making the handbook for best practices on tourism because nobody has it, and every day there are new protocols, new learning. And I wouldn't want the future tourism secretary to go through what I'm going through because from an all-time high, we're now to 0. So that's quite tough. But
it's drastic.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Drastic. But it pains me when I see our tourism stakeholders. We have now 5.7 million with no jobs. So I'm quite excited now that a lot of the tourist spots are under a modified GCQ, meaning tourism is now allowed. So we're now helping them open up, build their safety and health protocols so that people will feel safe to travel around.
So how did it change for you, Secretary? The use of social media, which, back then was just about food for you, and now you're using it differently. You seem to be very comfortable already watching your stories, being on cam, doing all selfies sometimes. The use of social media for you, or just social media for you, how has it changed? How have you approached it? And are you super comfortable with everything now? Interviews, guestings, and all these social media attention?
I still have to condition my mind.
Really?
Like it can't be like just instant. I still have to, because I'm really a homebody. I like being alone, reading a book, watching Netflix, my Korean novellas, or now Modern Family. I just love being alone.
Okay.
It's a shock to a lot of people because they think that I'm so used to people, but I'm actually not. But then with social media, I just have to be careful with what I post. I used to post just anything. But of course, at the start of the ECQ, of course, I like posting food, but I made it effort at the start not to post any food because I thought it was insensitive. But now I am posting food because it's my way of promoting local food, and a lot of people lost their jobs.
Right.
It's a way of promoting that restaurant, and I really don't post if I don't.
Right.
And it's my way of helping, and I only post local. I only post local food, local coffee,
Yes.
local, and it's my really it's I now use social media to promote what's best in local local wear, local
Right.
food,
Right.
local things. I mean,
Right.
and then with you, it's when you post local, people start to get interested.
Yeah, they ask. They
And
ask, "What's this? What's adlay? What's all of these things?" Yeah.
and you know what, with Adlai, that was we started that about 2012. And you know, at the start, nobody could understand what Adlai was.
Adlay is a grain, by the way, for the listeners. We're talking to DOT Secretary Berna Romulo-Puyat. We're talking about Adlay, which is native to us, correct, Secretary?
Mindanao,
Ah,
specifically
okay.
Mindanao, tribes in Mindanao, and it's healthier even than
It
brown
is. It
rice.
is. It is.
And then whenever you buy it, you help the indigenous tribes in Bukidnon, in Zamboanga. But now they also grow it in Negros and in Isabela.
Hmm.
And I asked a good friend, Chef Margarita Forres. I gave it to her. I was thinking, it was like such a, no, I was thinking, how do you promote this grain? Because, people are not too open to change. And she started promoting it, making wonderful things with Adlai.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm so happy because at that time when I would talk about Adlai, people would say, "What's that?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm so happy when I go to a restaurant, they're using Adlai,
Right.
and it's so happy. And whenever they buy Adlai, they help the indigenous tribes from Mindanao.
Okay.